Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lovely Azelf, and today gonna be talking about something really big coming to the game, Galaxy Heroes, and give more of an account overview to where my main account is, as I kind of lost the motivation on the old one, on the free-to-play account. However, I will say, with the 10th anniversary coming out, I am actually going to be restarting that series, and we're going to be going from there. 10th anniversary, more of a kind of beginner's guide for new players possibly joining in for the 10th anniversary. But today we're going to be talking about something really interesting, and that is going to be the chain LSTs coming in, and my recommendations for what new players would probably benefit the most from. And we're going to go ahead and get into that. I've actually made a whole thing here, and then I'm going to go through here and show recommendations for what I would get, and what I probably will end up getting once I get there. So starting here, so the first chain is going to be the Phoenix one. So the first week is going to be Hera and Sabine. Now, if you don't know what these LSTs are, they're going to be individual character-based Lightspeed tokens that are going to take your characters up to level 85, 7 stars, and gear 13. So they're not going to be relic, but you're not going to have to do any gear farming for them. Now, the first week is going to be Hera and Sabine. Now, unfortunately for my main account, I won't be able to benefit from Hera, as I do have her leader, Zeta and, I have her Zeta and Omicron. And I do have her at Relic 5. I have all of the Phoenix at Relic, so I'm not really going to benefit from that. However, with ability upgrades, stuff like that, I am going to benefit. So the first one is going to be Hera and Sabine. Now, Sabine getting her Zeta is going to be nice. So I'm excited about that. I've been working on some other stuff, and I'll show that at the end, what I've been doing and where my account is. But to continue, 2 weeks later, we're going to be getting Ezra and Chopper's LSTs out. Ezra getting his Zeta and all three his Omegas is going to be nice. That's going to be actually pretty nice, because Ezra can do some damage early to mid game. That's where I'm still at. I say I'm personally still there. Then Chopper as well. Chopper doesn't have a Zeta. He only has Omicrons, or not Omicrons, Omegas, but that's also going to be helpful. And then after that happens, we're going to have the Chain C for the Quest C for the first set of chains, and that is going to give you Captain Rex, and that's going to give you both his Zetas, get him to gear 13, 7 stars, and that's also going to give Emperor Palpatine as an LST. Now, I have mine at Relic 7, but I don't have either of his Zetas, because I haven't really been working on my Empire, but this is actually going to be really huge for me, as that'll, with the new Vader coming out, the new recommended team for him is Palpatine, Mara, Vader duels End, Tarkin, and the Imperial Royal Guard. So that's actually a really nice addition, is with the new LSTs getting that. I'm going to be showing my recommendations for. I'm going to be using my Empire LST for Mara Jade, but getting Palpatine Zetas is going to be huge. So the second chain is going to be Galactic Republic Jedi, and that's going to be to help you get the Grandmaster Yoda journey guide done, and the first two you're going to get are going to be Ahsoka Tano Snips and Jedi Knight Anakin. Now, again, unfortunately, Ahsoka I'm not going to be able to benefit from. I have her Zeta, so I'm going to just dismantle that one, but Jedi Anakin is going to be huge. Get that Zeta, get the Omegas. I keep wanting to say Omicrons from that, good lord. That's going to be good. Shaak Ti is also part of the second set with Mace, and getting both her Zetas is going to be nice. And that's going to help people get ready for to get the General Anakin Skywalker event done, Clash on Camino, which I recently completed. But more there in a second. We're also going to get Mace Windu as one, which for the endurance is going to be a big help. You're going to get all of his, you're going to get both his Zetas, all of his Omegas. I think it's an Omega, yeah. And you're going to get him to, yeah, you're going to get him to Gear 13, which is going to be a big help. And on top of that, you're going to be getting the Grandmaster Yoda Lightspeed token. Getting him to Gear 13 and getting all of his Zetas, which that is going to be really good. Beneficial for the, the mid-game Jedi teams that you're going to see, like Revan, stuff like that. But getting that battle meditation Zeta is going to be also really nice. So from there, the third set is going to be the Inquisitorius, and that is going to be huge. We're going to see so many Grand Inquisitors coming from that. It is ridiculous. And now, unfortunately, second sister, not going to be able to benefit. I did buy that LSB back when the Interceptor one came out. So I'm not really going to be able to use hers. But you're going to be getting Ninth Sister, Eighth Brother, all of them. Seventh Sister and Fifth Brother, as well as Second Sister. And that'll let you get R2-D2. And his LST is going to be so beneficial for Leia, which that's why I haven't gotten his yet. Is I recently got Galactic Legend Leia, and then it's been about a month and a half since I got her, but yeah, getting R2's stuff is going to be really nice. The fourth set is going to be the Rebel Lightspeed tokens. I don't have them in order for this one. Actually, I don't have them in order for the last three. But Admiral Akbar, getting him is going to be a good lead. Not the best leader for Rebels, but he has an alright Omicron. I wouldn't personally get it yet. Not for a while, at least. If I have nothing better to put it on, eventually I might do it. But I don't really know what his team comp would look like. Stormtrooper Han gets one. He gets probably one of the worst Zetas in the game, but it's free, so I wouldn't really complain there. You get Old Ben and his Zeta, which is actually kind of nice. 2% turn meter gain, 20% heal, 20% protection recovery, and the first time he's defeated, all allies gain 25% turn meter. So it's a really, really good with him being a tank, him wanting that. Princess Leia getting her Zeta against all odds. 45% chance to heal, and whenever she attacks, she recovers 5% protection, which is nice. That's actually really nice. And then getting her stuff ready for the CLS event, which that's what the Rebel LST set is really going to be beneficial for, getting that done. And then of course Farm Boy Luke getting 2 Zetas, getting his leader, his unique, all that. That's gonna be nice. It's a good free farm there. And from that, you'll get your CLS Commander Luke Skywalker Lightspeed token, all 3 Zetas. It's perfect. That's probably one of the most beneficial ones that are going to be available. Next up is Bounty Hunters. That's going to be the 5th chain set. And yeah, it's nice getting Bosk, which is really one of the most important bounty hunters you can get in the game. Boba Fett, also really nice to have. Mandalorians, just, it's nice. Getting IG-88, Fennec, and Dengar, all 3 of them. IG-88, not as much, not really the most important bounty hunter out there. Fennec can be, and Dengar is just one of my favorites. I just haven't had the Zetas to put on him yet. Dengar is one of my favorite bounty hunters of all time. So, him seeing that he gets the Lightspeed token is awesome. And finally, the Scoundrel LSTs, or before that, you actually get to do Chewbacca. You get his LST because you get the bounty hunters to complete the event. Which is going to be nice for when you're ready to get the Falcon, or if you already have the Falcon and you're like me, you just don't have Chewie to relic. That'll be good. But then finally, the Mandalorian Season 1 LSTs, The Mandalorian, Grief Karga, IG-11, Queel, and Cara Dune all get their stuff. 7 stars, Gear 13, and you get the Mandalorian Beskar Armor Lightspeed token. This is really huge, and with this being the final one, you actually are set up to get, you're almost set up to get Bo-Katan Mandalore. Now I say almost, and I actually did this one specifically the way I did. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to get IG-12 and Grogu or Paz Vizsla with the Mandalorian LST. So each chain set does also come with a faction LST. So for the Phoenix one, you get a Rebel Lightspeed token. And I've picked Saw Gerrera. It's the last unit I need for Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. And going ahead and getting him up to Gear 13. One, the Rebel Fighters team for Territory Bat Wars, and GAC is also going to be nice. Having him as an offensive team for Territory War is what I've seen quite a few people do, surprisingly. It does work better than you would think. So that's why I'm getting that done. The second set, which is the Galactic Republic set, you get a Jedi Lightspeed token. And I'm picking Kyle Katarn because that'll put me one step closer to getting Starkiller. I already have Dash Rendar because of something else that I'll show you in a little bit. But getting Kyle Katarn is going to be huge. And I also selected Mara Jade for the Empire one with the Inquisitorius set, which, one, that's another requirement for Starkiller done. But Mara Jade being on the new Vader team, huge. So getting that done. Then with the Rebel set, the 4th chain quest, I'm going to be using the Droid Lightspeed token for the Stap. And I'm sorry if you can hear that while I'm recording. There's a plane going overhead. But getting Stap is going to help me for Grand Arena, for my General Grievous team. So that'll be a really big boost for me there. With Bounty Hunters, I don't have a whole lot of options for Bounty Hunters. This is where I'm at. So I decided probably the best usage of it would be for Chrysanthemum. Getting him fully farmed up to being ready for Relic. Getting his Zetas is going to be good for when I do get Jabba. So that was my reasoning there. And then, of course, with the 6th set, you get the Mandalorian Lightspeed token, as I mentioned before. Now, for new players, I'm going to recommend for your Rebel Lightspeed token, I would recommend getting something a little different. I'd probably do a little different option than what I've picked. I would probably... Mon Mothma would be a really good selection. 3PO and Chewie would be a good one for your CLS team. That probably would be the one I would pick, honestly. You could do either of those two, and I think that would work. 3PO and Chewie is just nice. CLS requires that, essentially. And then Mon Mothma is also good for the Rebel Fighters team. She gives a body on the field, which is nice. That's what I would do there. For newer players, for Jedi, it depends. So there are a few ways you could go about that. I would say Master Qui-Gon would probably be one of your best bets to get. You get him. You get his really long Zeta out of the way, and it's Master Qui-Gon. He's really good for your Galactic Republic teams, specifically for Queen Amidala. If I am able to use it on Hermit Yoda. And I don't think we'll be able to because Rebel Officer Leia was not available to be used with the last Rebellion Lightspeed token. But if Hermit Yoda is doable, that is my guaranteed pick over Kyle Katarn. And then Saul, I'll just farm up Saul and get Kyle with the Rebel LST. After that is the Empire one. And really, there are my Empire is not looking the best. There are a few good options you could do. You could go ahead and farm get Admiral Piet done. You could, honestly, I would say, you're already getting Emperor Palpatine. Do Vader. Vader would be a really good option for you because it's a good combination there. Or maybe going ahead and getting the Royal Guard done so that you have Emperor Palpatine and the Royal Guard for the Emperor Shuttle vehicle. There's just a lot of good options here. Maybe even going ahead and getting TIE Fighter Pilot out of the way. But Empire, really, whichever Empire team you want to farm, I would go with that direction. For Droid, this is where it gets a little different. For Droid, I would maybe still do the STAP. Or, if you want to use your Rebel token on something else, you could always use your droid on 3PO and Chewie. You do have that option. For bounty hunters, if you haven't gotten Imbo, I would say do Imbo because, again, Jabba. I'm honestly just going to get his Zetas and stuff separate. Despite him being one of my favorite characters, he is not a priority for me right now. So getting that out of the way will be good. And then for the Mandalorian one, honestly, Jango Fett. Jango Fett or getting Gar Saxon out of the way for the Ewok event be a really good call there. And now for the account update. Let me do by power. Here we go. I got Leia. As I mentioned earlier, I got her done. That was awesome. Great event. Really much easier than I thought it would be. Except for Tier 2, which I hate that they changed it after I got her. And you can already see that Radis being Relic 9. I got Profundity, finally. And I'm super stoked about that because I'm consistently like rank 34 in Arena, so that's 50 crystals a day, which sure, right now isn't the best. But for where I'm at, that's pretty nice. That's a refresh for regular stamina, mod stamina, fleet stamina, whatever. It's not going to be, beneficial for Cantina farming, but still. I've gotten some more Zetas put on, definitely more than what my account had during my free-to-play when I was showing it off with the free-to-play account. I got Savage done finally. Got him to Relic. Took me forever to get him and his Omicron at the behest of several different people. I finally did it. And I'm in a different guild now. I've joined a pretty good group. We're consistently getting around 26 stars in Rise of the Empire. Right now we're at 19, and it's only been about 4 hours into today's phase, and I actually got my first star for the guild today, which was really cool. And guild-wise, that's going to be the end for that little update. The final thing is going to be my Grand Arena. So I actually got into Bronzium, which was really cool, and then I immediately got kicked out of it. This is my opponent for tonight. I am not stoked about that. It's 9 minutes until I have to have to go against that. So I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm going to do my best against it. And hopefully they're a no-show. I hope they're a no-show with really bad defenses. But on top of that, I don't really have anything else to add. I'm probably going to be going more in depth once the anniversary starts over the units. I'll probably Tuesday. My Tuesday. I don't know when it would get uploaded. I'll probably go through a rundown of the anniversary events and stuff. I don't like doing data mine related stuff. I like being a little more surprised than a lot of other people probably would. But I think that I'll hold off on doing a video on the units coming out, and we will go from there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have recommendations for what you're going to get with your Lightspeed tokens, please let me know. And if you have any questions about, teams, recommendations for newer players, let me know in the comments. That being said, my name's Lovely Azelf, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Until then, see ya.